Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul. How you doing?
Morning. I'm doing fine. It is August the 11th, 2026. We are well into the month of August, and wherever you are this morning, I want to say a pleasant good morning to you. Thank you so much for starting your morning right with us right here on Open Your Eyes. I have to send a huge shout out to our faithful viewers in Corozal, Sabrina.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that in just a few.
I was in Corozal on Sunday, and there were some moments of downtime, if you would, while we waited for votes to be counted. And I spent some time walking through the park, the Central Park, and man, the amount of people that watch Open Your Eyes.
Mr. Paul.
Just say Mr. Just say Paul.
Mr. Paul Lopez,
okay.
Say,
Open Your Eyes, man.
Okay, that's good.
Different little things. Sometimes people don't remember your name, but they remember your face.
Yeah.
I remember meeting Miss Estella. I want to say good morning to Miss Estella. I remember meeting Mr. Riverol, I believe his name was. I may be mistaken with that last name, but the person I'm talking about, he has a 17-year-old daughter who owns a bakery.
Okay.
Right? And very inspirational story. She shared, this 17-year-old daughter shared her story about being bullied at school, and essentially moving away from school and starting her own little business as a form of release and a form of escape from the whole bullying at school and stuff like that. But some really, really nice people in Corozal that basically said, as soon as they open their eyes, then you need to open your eyes, right? And of course, they sent greetings to you as well.
Okay, well, good morning, guys.
They said, make sure I tell Sabrina good morning.
All
and
right.
so, outside of all the hurly-burly of the politics of the day
and we will get into that,
and the back and forth, we also had, so I had a lot of pleasant conversations with people about Open Your Eyes.
As you're talking about that, it reminds me of the reason why we do our country tour. I remember last year when we were also in Corozal, we experienced that same hospitality. And so I also have a soft spot for Corozal. And so, I'm so glad that you were able to experience that.
I know a lot of the other parts of the country probably they get jealous right now, but my latest experience at Corozal, I big them up. And Miss Estella actually told me that she wanted to come and visit you all when you all were on the country tour in Corozal.
Well, she still has a chance to do that. We haven't visited Corozal as yet
you haven't visited?
Not yet.
Right, so I told her, not knowing, I said, you know what, maybe they're going to Corozal or come to Corozal again and you'll get an opportunity. And then she said, if it happens, she won't miss it.
Miss Estella, we are yet to stop in at Corozal. I'm not sure where we're going yet next month, but we'll definitely keep the word out. We'll share the word with you guys, and of course, you could get ready and join us wherever we'll be for our next stop on the country tour. Excellent. But Paul, let's jump into what we have lined up for you guys in terms of conversations this morning, and I know you're excited to talk about this one. Well, let's get into it. I know that over the weekend we are set to celebrate St. Bight Day, and so we're going to be having some folks from that community to talk about the celebration of Garifuna culture and community. And then after that, we're also anticipating the Carnival season and the countdown to Carnival. And so that begins with the annual King and Queen competition. We'll be joined by representatives of the Carnival Association. And did you guys also know that today is also Steel Pan Day? And so we'll be having some music later on in the studio, highlighting some of the beautiful sounds of steel pan. And then we'll be joined by the founder, Julieta Barros, of Panorific Steel Band to talk about what her band has been doing for such a long time here in Belize and how they are celebrating Steel Pan Day. I'll send it over to Paul now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that steel pan conversation, but more beyond that, we'll actually have them set up in our little studio space here, and they'll be playing music throughout the course of this morning's show. And so you want to stay locked in to hear some beautiful and sweet pan music, and then of course we'll be having that conversation. There are some things that you need to know before you leave your home. These are some of the topics that are trending right now locally and internationally. First and foremost, independent media or media owners have joined social partners in opposing the BTL SpeedNet acquisition. That's one of the trending topics happening. And then we're also asking, what's really happening on the Belize River? Why is the river contaminated, and why is there so many aquatic animals dying? Fish, hikete, crocodiles. They're among the dead wildlife on the Belize River, and it remains a mystery. And then third, vote buying claims surface at PUP Corozal Convention, Municipal Convention. I tell them out there, well, it look like the controversy coming out of that who may they pay for votes, how much they may they pay for votes, and how much did voters collect. Man, so undemocratic, but we are talking about it. In our fourth conversation, a Pomona farmer claims that he was shot by plainclothes policemen. And you know what? Up to now, we don't see a police report about this. We don't hear a police report, and it's quite an interesting case. He was hospitalized for his gunshot injuries, and he has been released, and he spoke with us, and so we're going to be discussing that. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, it is Tuesday. So you know what that means. Yes, not Taco Tuesday. KTV, the remix, season 8. I think we're at night 6 now. Yes, I believe it is night 6, and tonight is all about alternative music, alternative rock, I believe. That is the judge's choice. And so we're going to be discussing what can be expected tonight. I sure hope that I can be in the audience tonight. I've only been to one show, and so we're going to be talking about KTV, the remix, and encouraging you to get your ticket. Though it's last minute, get your tickets and be there live. Sabrina?
Alrighty, Paul, thank you so much for that. Now I want to jump in the comment section and say some good mornings to people I see trickling in at this time. Good morning, Samson. I see you saying good morning. Mish Hemsley, Francisco Madrid. Michelle Sampson said, good morning, guys. I'm here. Wilbert Zelaya said, good morning, Sabrina and Paul, and I'll open your eyes. And Greater Belize Media staff. Jonathan Jr. And Janelle Treheki, good morning to you guys as you trickle in. Also, good morning to our YouTube viewers. I cannot forget to mention you guys. I know that we have a healthy viewership over on YouTube, and you guys also share your thoughts in the comment section as well. So thank you so much for engaging with us. Now, Paul, I want to begin on what we were talking about just moments ago. So you spent Sunday, almost all day really in Corozal, highlighting the sights and sounds of the convention that was taking place there, as we saw two mayoral aspirants put their names forward in convention, hoping to be the face of, or really be the candidate that people would have to choose in Corozal. Now, I know that I imagine Isani and April already covered extensively what took place, but there's been an interesting topic or subject that came out of that covering on Sunday as well. And really, it's a recurring topic that people talk about whenever it's election time, but it was a convention. And so people are saying, some alleging that there were payments or paying of sorts for votes taking place. I know that you spoke to Rigo Veos. I know you spoke to Ms. Rogers, as well as Area Representative Tea Garcia. And they all essentially denied having any involvement in this process.
Yeah, which is interesting, Sabrina, because I personally believe, this is my personal view, that both sides are doing it.
Oh.
Yeah. So you only have to listen to the chatter around these tents to get an understanding of what voters were expecting from the different teams. And I personally heard people expressing satisfaction and dissatisfaction. I'm talking about voters. In that voters were saying, I don't get handled.
Okay, Paul, I need you to be so real at me right now.
No,
tell me who is satisfied and who is dissatisfied.
Well, I don't know them personally.
No, I mean like,
okay,
were they satisfied in terms of like the amount of money when they get from which side?
This is what I mean.
Okay.
You heard voters, I heard voters expressing satisfaction and dissatisfaction in the sense that voters were saying on both sides, I have to be real, on both sides saying, I don't get handled, right? They don't take care of me. And then somebody else I heard saying, well, they not take care of me yet.
Oh, okay,
right?
that's what you mean.
I don't get handled yet. So that's what I mean by dissatisfaction. And some of those persons that said, I don't get handled yet, were asking, where I go get handled? Or they were saying, man, the sun hot, and then people that got me out here so long, and they not take care of me yet. And so then I mean, I was very observant of what was taking place. And these things, they happen, they try to ensure that it is done under the radar or secretly, but when it's so frequent, it becomes evident and apparent in that you know, based on certain behavior, that who got the money bag. You know who they push their hand in that little strap-on bag, that little black strap-on bag.
That's very specific.
Yeah. You know, you know who they push their hand in that bag often and they pull out money. You know who then they come to very frequently, and like who voters and who members of the teams they go to very frequently. And okay, one argument could be made that there are people where I observe with their sort of frequent secretive movement, maybe then just the whole money from managed resources, right? So that if you need water, if you need this and that. So perhaps an argument that could be made.
One of the common arguments that you'd hear whenever there are speculations of money being distributed for votes is that, you know, we just give people money for food. We give people money for transportation because they had to go out and away to come that a voting area. So how do you, I guess, compete with that?
Yeah,
that argument or that excuse.
So and then outside of that, outside of what I saw on the ground, we received numerous complaints, right, during the day about a location, a particular location not too far from where the voting was taking place, where persons who claimed to have collected and so for their vote, so at least $50, told us, hey, that over so then they pay people. And we did visit the location.
Did they say for which side that location was for?
Yeah, they did say, so it's either for one of the sides, right? And so we visited the area. This is the area that you're seeing right here. And we saw people outside. We didn't see any money being exchanged, but we spoke to somebody there off record, of course, or just on background. They spoke anonymously, and they told us, this is essentially where, you know, you could make things happen. This is how where voters come, and so these individuals, the place was heavily trafficked throughout the day, and so this was one of the locations that was identified as what some people describe as a beacon house. Now, let's be clear here. These conventions, these internal conventions, they don't operate like, they're not recognized as like official municipal elections and general elections, and they don't play by some of the same rules.
They're governed
right?
by their own rules.
They're governed by internal party politics and internal party policies. And I'm sure there are certain party policies internally, or at least agreements or understanding that you don't pay for votes. But it's not as if it is a crime in the manner where it would be breaking a law if it is a municipal election or a general election. So people might say, fair game. If one side to do it, the next side to do it. My concern is that while it may not be illegal in the sense of the laws or policies that govern these sort of internal conventions, while it may not be illegal,
undemocratic.
It erodes the democratic process. It erodes the perception of a free and fair democratic process taking place. Now, like you said, we spoke with Rigo Veos, and we spoke with Ms. Shahari Rogers, and we even spoke to Thea Garcia Ramirez. Specifically, Mr. Veos and Ms. Rogers flatly denied, outrightly denied paying anyone. So if payments were being made, at least they wash their hands and say, that never me. So if payments were being made, perhaps it is some operative within their teams, perhaps unknown to them, that were doing these things. Like perhaps then they say, well, if when they do it, just not tell me. Camino, no.
But do you think it's that though, Paul?
No, man, I don't think that. But it's quite unbecoming though of the process. Nonetheless, a winner emerged, and we saw Mr. Veos tearful after it. But it wasn't, to me, I didn't interpret his tears as tears of joy. I interpret it as tears of frustration.
How about relief?
Perhaps even relief, but more so frustration. That like, after you're done one big quarrel, and then you were right all along, at least you felt as if in that moment you were right all along. And then the quarrel done, and then they're like, man, I know I right, but they're not tears of happiness that I was right, that tears of frustration that we really had to go through this. And I think that's the emotion that Mr. Veos was expressing there.
I think he was also careful to not shed a negative light on the party itself. I believe you had asked him if he feels vindicated, and he... he's not going to answer that.
He was more open about it earlier in the day.
But I also want to go to the question that you posed to each of them when you asked if they were paying for votes. You asked Mr. Veos, are you giving out money? And his exact words were, I don't have money, sir.
No money, sir.
I don't have money. My money will be spent on me and who I can help. And of course, I will dedicate myself to my community. I don't need to pay people to win a convention or an election. They're very careful to say or to not say if they do or don't. You also posed the same question to Ms. Rogers. That is to say, there is no paying of votes. Ms. Rogers said, absolutely not. As far as Team Rogers is concerned, we are not paying anyone. And so that also goes to the point of what you mentioned earlier. Maybe in some cases they are not aware that payment is being made.
It's hard, let me just, and this is hard for me to believe what they're saying based on what I saw and based on what I heard on the ground. I'm not saying outrightly that they're lying and they're lied, but it doesn't align with everything I heard and everything I saw on the ground in terms of some very curious and questionable activities.
I want to jump in the comment section really quickly just to see what the thoughts are of some of the viewers before we go to our next topic. We have Samson Jacobs saying, at some point, the voters are to blame.
100%.
Why would you want to receive payments for your vote? Integrity plays an important role in everything. And if you, the voter, will allow politicians to pay you for your vote, then you are the problem. Thanks, management.
Yes.
Michelle said, whether it's legal or not, it's the principle. Some people would say it's the principalities. If they can do it now, then you bet for general it's happening. It's shameful that the electorate would allow it.
Yeah, and I think Samson makes a point that I just wanted to make. Voters have been trained to expect payments for their votes, right? And so as much as candidates may say they don't want to pay, I believe that the pressure comes from voters. You bring me out of my house.
Yeah.
You got me in the sun hot.
You handle me?
The least you could do, that handle me.
Yeah.
And when you turn your back against that voter, there is a fear that you lose a vote, right? And so this pressure, this mounting pressure comes from the electorate. And because the electorate has this expectation at every election, at every chance they get to cast their ballots, what happens is candidates oftentimes fold, and they have to find resources, financial resources on election day to ensure that those who are adamant about receiving payments, that they get handled. It's a bad relationship that has been in existence for a long time, that exists between candidates and the electorate. And I think until candidates really put their foot down and say, that not happen, then we could really see some changes with that. Not only in convention, but as Michelle pointed out, it's also happening in municipal and general elections.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move to the next topic. I know that we are still keeping a close eye on the BTL SpeedNet acquisition. We've been following that very closely. We know that one of the more recent perhaps perspectives or narratives that we have been highlighting is that of the Senate walkout that took place, where the independent senators, the opposition side as well, walked out of the National Assembly. Since then, we've also been able to see the independent media join forces with the independent senators as well. And so they had a meeting yesterday, and they went on record to share their thoughts on why they are joining forces with the independent senators at this time, and why this acquisition also stands to be a threat to their work when it comes to sharing the thoughts of the general population, and how this acquisition, a monopoly even, could threaten their voice and provide a level of censorship.
Yeah, so the social partners, we've heard their position. That includes the unions, the Belize Chamber of Commerce. We've heard their position. They've been registering their position since earlier this year, late last year, and essentially they've been saying that there's not enough information for them to go on to make a reasonable decision on the matter. And then in January, we heard from media owners. They actually held a press conference in January where they spoke about their personal concerns as well. And so what I gathered coming up from yesterday's meeting between social partners and media owners, I gathered that there is a coming together, a formation of a coalition of sorts to present a united front on this issue. And I also understood from that meeting that it also serves as a reminder to the general public that the independent or the media owners, they have not changed their position from that position in January, and social partners as well, they've not changed their position on the proposed BTL SpeedNet acquisition. Now, the discussion is going to take place in Cabinet this morning. That's the big story. The discussion is going to take place in Cabinet this morning, as we understand it. And we also know that the NTUCB and the BCCI, they've been invited for a Cabinet meeting on Thursday. It's going to be interesting this morning what takes place inside Cabinet, because as far as we've been understanding from last week, at least 5 senior cabinet ministers oppose this particular proposed acquisition. We know that Julius Espat, a senior cabinet minister, is among those who oppose this proposed deal. And so we'll have to wait to see what unfolds in that discussion. There are also rumors and talks that there would likely be a protest outside of the cabinet meeting while they discuss this proposed BTL SpeedNet acquisition. My understanding is that has essentially died a natural death. That's not going to happen. That protest. But if it does, then of course we'll be on the ball and we'll be bringing coverage of that. But that's what's taking place in cabinet this morning.
Here's an interesting story that also came out of the news last night, Paul. That of a farmer in Pomona who claims that he was asleep at his farm and then woke up to guns pointed at his face. He ran away, got shot in his leg, and then pulled out his licensed firearm, fired at the persons who were also targeting him. Then he later learns that those persons were police officers. Now, there's more questions and answers as well, because apparently there was no case at the police station. There's a lot of people wondering why these persons who were dressed in civilian outfits, not in police uniform, held him at gunpoint, and then claimed to be police officers after. What do you make of that story?
What I make of the story is that this is a grave injustice that has been committed against this individual, and the Belize Police Department has not quelled my concerns because we have not seen an official statement issued on this matter, and we've not heard any answers as to why police officers, as this man claims, were on this individual's farm in Pomona, and why shots were fired at him by a police officer wearing civilian clothing. When a police officer fires his weapon, there has to be good grounds for doing that, and it usually triggers an investigation, both external and internal. We haven't heard any sort of investigation. This man said he was basically on his farm. He was taking a break, and these 3 individuals came up to him armed, and he felt threatened, so he ran off.
Yeah.
And I mean, any individual would think about doing that. You're upon a farm where a man is secluded.
And they're not dressed in police uniform.
And they're not dressed in police uniform.
He probably thought he was being robbed.
Right. That's what he said he thought. And they didn't even identify themselves as police officers. And so when he ran, that's when one of the individuals opened fire and shot him. He had his licensed firearm on him. Yeah. So he returned fire. And then apparently that's when they fled, came back and said, "We are police officers." Why were the police officers even at the location in the first place? What were they going there for? Because we understand that this Pomona farmer was released from the hospital after receiving treatment. He was released yesterday, and up to now, no charges have been levied against him. And that's what makes me say it's a grave injustice that has been committed against this individual, and more so because there has been no official police report and no official police information on this. They even killed a man dog.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the dog that was his farm dog that stayed by his side, that protected him, was his alarm of sorts while he was out there on the farm, whether it was a dangerous animal or dangerous people in this case. And but the police has to answer. The police has to provide a report, clear it up, say that one, if that then another really police officers and they identified themselves as such, then say that they weren't police officers, and then fine them and charge them for impersonating police officers. And then if they were, then there needs to be clarity as to whether or not an investigation is ongoing at this moment into their behavior and into them injuring this man, causing likely life-threatening injuries to this farmer from Pomona Village.
Yeah. All right. Well, share your thoughts on that in the comment section. We definitely are following that story there. But another story that we're also following has been the recent fish kill that has been observed in the Belize River. I believe the first time we started talking about this story was in earlier of this month, the earlier part of this month, I think August 4th. And it came from the Belize River Valley. I believe it was around Flowers Bank area, that persons identified some fish just floating in the water. Then they found out that they were dead. So since then, there's been, I believe, the Department of Environment has come in. They conducted water quality testing and collected water, fish, and sediment samples. But as you are seeing on screen, this is recent photos of more disturbing fish kills. That's a crocodile, Paul. And honestly, I've never seen something like that take place in this country, at least in my lifespan so far.
Yeah. And you've lived along the Belize River for quite some time, right?
I've never seen something like that, you know. And so there's a lot of concerns coming out of the Belize River Valley, of persons right now. Of course, you would know that there are people who they use fishing as their livelihood. There are people who use the water for their consumption, whether it's planting, whether it's their animals, whether it's washing clothing, whatever it is. There's concerns that the water supply may be contaminated with some sort of chemical. We know so far that there seems to be low oxygen or dissolved oxygen that would have these aquatic animals dying.
So when you say water supply, you mean the river itself,
Yes.
right? Not the water
Yes.
that comes out of the pipe.
The river.
The river. And so the latest release from the Department of Environment and the Ministry of Sustainable Development says that it is still unclear as to what is causing this. It's very reminiscent of the New River situation several years ago.
2019, I think.
It was more recent because
Okay.
I was in the media already, and I wasn't in the media. Well, maybe it was then, right? I can't remember the exact year, so you could be right. But it's very reminiscent of that, and thank God the New River situation has been handled, and that river seems to be thriving to a greater extent now. And I find it alarming that it remains a mystery, and while it remains a mystery, while they're unable to find the true source of this situation, wildlife continues to die.
Yeah.
Fish kill, you still see fish kill. Now we're seeing the crocodiles, we're seeing hikete. Hikete is an endangered species here in Belize. There's a lot of work taking place down south to research and protect this animal, the hikete, and to just see them dying off like this in the Belize River Valley area is concerning. And I know it's very concerning for a lot of residents in that community as well who use the river. My understanding is that they've sent some samples to be tested overseas to try and get to the bottom of it. But again, while all of that happens, the fish kill and the death of this wildlife continues to happen.
I think about food security too.
Yeah, and it's a wake-up call for us though, because I think as a society we take for granted how connected it all is, how connected our environment is, right? And even though we continue to have these conversations and set about what happens in the mountains, affect what happens in the riverines, affects what happens in the ocean, we continue to talk about it, but we don't really pay attention until things like this happen. When you start to clear large portions of land, when you start to use all kind of chemicals that run off into the water, when you really when you litter, and there's a lot of garbage that runs off from your drains into the river that runs into the sea, we really don't consider the impacts of all of these things until we start to see it evidently. But the truth is that by the time we begin to see the evidence of our own behavior, it's too late.
Yeah.
The wildlife begins to die. And so I think this is an opportunity for us to take stock. New River situation happened. We moved on from it. The Belize River situation is happening. And God forbid we just say, all right, make we fix it and move on from it. Because then what other riverines, what other watersheds will be affected while we as humans, we as Belizeans, just continue to, use and abuse our environment and our natural resources without consideration for our wildlife, the most precious thing.
Yeah.
Brings in tourism dollars in the millions on an annual basis, feeds people. It is life sustaining for us. But I don't know. I don't know how we as humans, how we operate like that. And I take stock myself as well.
I think this is an opportunity for us to even have a discussion about the proactive nature that we might need to modify when it comes to maybe, well, of course, we have not figured out as yet what is causing this contamination, if it's a contamination of sorts, but perhaps the environmental management systems that might need to be redefined, or a second look needs to be taken to ensure that we are more proactive, so that things like this
constant
don't
monitoring,
happen
you're saying,
again, you know, versus being reactive. And when we see things like mass mortalities of our aquatic, you know, creatures dying like this, it's traumatic for people who live close there. I imagine it smells terrible as well. And I think of people who rely on this water as well, and what they have to do as a result. People who live in Flowers Bank, that's a village close to my village, and I know that there are people who traverse that area on the daily just to go on the mainland. And I imagine just the sight and the smell that they're experiencing, there needs to be perhaps more proactive measures to ensure that things like this don't happen again.
And you realize that with the New River situation, proactive measures were implemented. It was after the fact, but proactive measures were implemented to kind of prevent this from happening in the future. And it's likely that that will happen here, but it always happens after the fact, Sabrina. And
so I don't know if it's proactive if it happens after the fact.
Well, it is proactive in that we'll be more proactive in the future. So it's a proactive, reactive decision, if you would.
Okay, that's an oxymoron. Let's jump into the comments section before we jump on our final topic of discussion. I see an interesting point of view being shared here in the comments, Paul. A viewer said, you can call it, this of course is speaking to the voter buying conversation. You can call it whatever you want, but I personally don't consider it payment. To me, it's a little treat for being out there. A little money cannot buy people vote for the candidate they prefer. So this is an interesting take. This viewer is essentially saying that you could give $50, but voters still vote for who they want. They take that as a treat and go buy a lead chicken if that chicken they want, or whatever it is. What are your thoughts on that, Paul?
I have no thoughts on that, Sabrina. I've already shared my opinion on what it is.
Samson Jacob said, in the words of Uncle Boots, meaning Anthony Martinez, it's the people who are corrupt. They are the ones who demand payments for their votes. I guess schools need to educate more on voting and voting rights. So people are still very much engaged in this, on that topic at least. And of course we appreciate it, but we ask that you just remain as respectful as possible. And we're going to close things off with our final topic. It is Tuesday, and you know what that means, Paul. It's KTV Tuesday. And tonight is set to be an exciting one. I'm hoping that the crowd goes out. They go out and support their favorites. I believe we're down to 6. Do we have 6? Or 5 contestants in at this time. And they will be battling with the genre of alternative rock. This was the judges' choice. I also understand that they will be singing 2 songs tonight. And they're going to be singing a song from the judges and that of their own choosing
so we're at
as
that
well.
Stage now.
It's exciting. The competition is developing further, and we're seeing, you know, it evolve into new things. So it's even more exciting. But ultimately, you know that with 5 persons in the competition, also 1 has to go tonight. So that's always sad.
And they're going to battle it out, right?
I believe so. I believe the bottom 2 will have to do a battle round, and then the judges decide who was the stronger one. And ultimately, that gives me a lot of nerves, a lot of anxiety, Paul, because it could just be based upon the song what you pick. You know, in battle round, they have a selection of songs that they would have to prepare for. So they pick that song from the bowl, and they just have to sing it and hope that, you know, it's a good enough song for their voice, and they're able to secure their place in the competition to continue on. So kudos to everyone who is still in the competition so far. And for the ones who will of course, be in the bottom tonight. I wish you guys luck as well. Yeah. But I also encourage you guys to go out and watch the show tonight. Alternative rock is definitely one of those genres that I think some people love it, some people don't love it. But I think it's going to be a good show. So I'll definitely be locked in.
I think it will. And so I want to encourage people to get your tickets. Let's pack out the bliss tonight. You could come to Greater Belize Media and Coney Drive and buy your tickets. It's only $5. You could also get tickets at the door. They're always on sale at the door for $5 as well. And you could also get tickets at the 88 Shopping Center. It promises to be a great night. And like I said earlier, hopefully I'm in the audience tonight and I get an opportunity to see those two songs, to watch that Battle Wrong live in person, and to hear some alternative rock.
Do you think Trevette will make alternative country?
Listen, he did wonders with that Spanish, that Latin night, and so I'm looking forward to see what he will do. I'm also looking forward to see how Tamika will handle alternative, and Bumi as well, who's a bit reserved, and alternative requires you to kind of come out of your shell some more and be more expressive and have a lot more gestures, and and so I'm looking
more emotion.
More emotion. So I'm looking forward to see what she will do. I think if what's the name of
Judson?
No, not Judson. That's probably right up his alley, right?
Why? Because he's white?
Yeah, kind of, but because he's American, that's a big thing over there. So perhaps that's up his alley. The Tiana.
Yeah.
It's Tiana. I feel like if she stays in, I think she could blow us out the waters tonight in terms
I think it'll be good.
Alternative rock.
And the only reason why I said because he's white, because I remember growing up hearing people tell me things like, oh, that's the white people music, because I love a good alternative song,
you say
right?
It, I never want to say it.
You know you made to think it, pal. So I just tell you. Anyways, so we got to now take our first break, and when we come back, we are going to jump into our next conversation, which is St. Bight Day, celebrating Garifuna culture and community. But before we do that, we're going to go to our weather update, brought to you by the folks from the National Meteorological Service.
Great, so this is our eye on weather for this morning, courtesy of our friends from the National Meteorological Service of Belize. Let's look at today's forecast. We're going to have some cloudy skies today with a few sunny breaks. Tonight, skies will be cloudy as well. There's going to be some outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms that will develop over most areas, but some over the south and central areas. And so sound like we get some rain in different parts of the country, isolated here and there. Temperatures for today, 87 along the coast and 82 Fahrenheit inland, and 82 Fahrenheit on the lower end, inland, 92 Fahrenheit inland, and 74 along on the lower end. Now 92 degrees, listen, you not take that lightly. That is hot. That me kind of way me feel like that Corozal. It was 92 degrees and a little bit more on Sunday. It was very hot. In the hills, 81 degrees Fahrenheit on the higher end and 68 degrees Fahrenheit on the lower end. Let's now look at our extended forecast. So you're wondering what's the weather going to be like for the rest of the week. We're looking at Wednesday, 87 degrees on the higher end along the coast and inland 91. Thursday, 89 along the coast and 95 inland. So temperatures are going to go up later this week. And then on Friday, 88 along the coast and 94 inland. And then we see a hot Saturday, a hot start to the weekend, 89 along the coast and 95 inland. So get those umbrellas, get your water, perhaps go to the beach, go to the river, just avoid the Belize River Valley, Belize River, right? Astronomical forecast, the sunrise, the sun is rose this morning at 5:34 a.m. and the sun is going to set at 6:20 p.m. Later on this evening, and then the moon rose at 5:23 a.m. and then the moon is going to set at 5:44 p.m. Now for our marine conditions, the sea state is going to be moderate to rough. So you can expect some rough seas out there at certain times and in certain areas throughout the course of the day, because the wind is blowing from east to northeast at 10, from east to north, sorry, at 10 to 20 knots. Tide, today's high is going to be at 8:24 a.m. and then a low at 3:48 p.m. And then we have another high at 9:50 p.m. That's later on tonight. And then tomorrow morning at 2:50 a.m. there's going to be a low tide.
Right.
And that does it for our Eye on the Weather, courtesy of our friends at the National Met Service of Belize. Sab, back to you.
Alrighty, Paul. Thank you so much for that update. Now we're going to head out to our break, and when we come back, it's all about St. Bight Day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Every dream begins with an opportunity, and every opportunity has the power to change a life. This year, Belize Bank proudly welcomes 16 outstanding new scholars during its 14th annual Scholarship Award ceremony, recognizing young Belizeans whose academic excellence, leadership, and determination inspire us all.
When I look around the room today, I see future entrepreneurs who will build businesses. I see future doctors who will heal families. I see engineers who will design infrastructure, teachers which will inspire the next generation.
For Belize Bank, a scholarship is more than financial assistance. It's a commitment to each student's future through guidance, encouragement, and mentorship from members of our management team. Today, we celebrate 16 new scholars, more than 250 lives transformed, one shared future. Because when we empower our youth, we empower our nation.
When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin. So your baby can play freely, and you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers, comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
Belizean law protects children under 18. Marriage and adult romantic relationships with children are not allowed. The age of consent is 16, but children under 18 are not allowed to enter common law unions. Parents and guardians are legally responsible for their children until age 18, not their partners. These laws exist to keep children safe. Protection is everyone's responsibility.
To learn more, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Insurance fact. Did you know with Home Protector Insurance, home and property insurance does not only cover hurricane and fire? Your lifetime investment will also be protected from explosions, water damage, malicious damage, and more. So you can rest easy knowing your home is protected. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
The UDP claim they care about Belizean workers, but they have consistently failed to practice what they preach. From 2011, the concept of an occupational safety and health bill was presented to UDP cabinet by professionals at the Ministry of Labour. But when the UDP left office an entire decade later, they still had not brought the issue to Parliament for debate or passage. It was under this PUP government that a modern OSH bill has been introduced, debated and passed.
This is a historic day for workers and employers in Belize.
When it was debated in the House, the UDP did not even turn up for the sitting. And when it was debated in the Senate, they walked out and tried to prevent it from being voted on or passed.
Had Senator Lewis Wade walked out with the rest of us, the meeting itself would not have been able to continue because they would not have had a quorum and the meeting would have had to close down at least for the time.
The UDP preaches concern for Belizean workers, but have failed and betrayed those workers at every opportunity. Tracy, Faber, and their UDP cabal do not care about people, only about power.
When we think about agriculture in Belize, we often think banana, citrus, or even cacao. But tucked away behind the Maya Mountains is a small community known as Waterhole, where their ventures are raspberries. That's right, Finca Actun's venture is growing a winter fruit in a tropical climate. Let's take a look at what they're doing here. I have with me here Gomar Enriquez, the founder of Finca Actun, to talk to us about why he ventured into raspberry farming. Hi, Gomar.
Hi.
How's it going?
Fine.
Yes, it's a nice. The weather is holding out for us a little bit, but talk to me about why raspberries.
Well, originally I was doing vegetables and stuff, but the market gets really saturated, and then I was trying to venture on things we don't produce in Belize. So raspberries was something that came to my mind, and then I found a friend that gave me some plants for free. So that's where it started.
So I think I have a nice one here. It's ready for the picking, yes. Great. Okay, let's move on. They have some really, really nice ones in here in the bush, but we have to be extra careful. Yes, very good. Right for the picking. Awesome. So be very careful. This is a very thorny bush. See some very nice ones here. Oh, wow. We are here in your raspberry field, and people think, well, the climate in Belize isn't really that good for berries or winter berries, winter fruits. But here we have a beautiful, nice, juicy raspberry that is ready for the picking. How did you do this?
Well, it's trial and error. Apart from this, I have tried the blackberries too. They're doing good. We have tried blueberries, so we'll soon have some in Belize. Strawberries do good here also. And we're just a stone away from Pine Ridge. We are behind Pine Ridge and Guatemalan border. So I think the weather, climate helps for us here. Well, I've been learning the hard way because I have nobody to copy from here in Belize, especially because of these fruits, and it's been challenging. I think I figured it out already. So we just need to keep learning from them. And at the beginning, the fruits were smaller, but now I think the plants adapted very well also.
Yeah.
So we get big fruits already.
How do you know when the berry is ready?
Well, they need to be really, really red like this one, see? And then when you touch it, it's just easy to come off. And then this one will take like 2-3 more days. This one will be ready like for Friday. But when they are ready, it's just...
It's beautiful and nice. I have here one that it's like hiding way to the bottom, but like if I just slowly reach out and it's ready for it. Look at that, so beautiful. And very, very sweet, if I might add.
And an important thing, we can eat them like that. They're pesticide free. We have hives that feed on from the blossom of the flowers. So we do produce raspberry honey also from the blossom of the raspberries. And we try to have everything organic here for benefit of the soil, birds, our bees, and most importantly for human health. They will usually start flowering on the colder days, but we've been working on that. We've been getting them to produce longer than the first year we had them. So we have a cycle of like between almost 8 months of production now for the year.
Wow. What's the upkeep like? I see you have a makeshift irrigation system.
Yes, raspberries love the cold weather and a lot of water. So we need a lot of water. So we're trying to keep with the irrigation system, like running it as soon as the rain stops. so that we can have the production continuous. After that, we need to wait for the fruit to get really ripe, as you saw the field. Once it's ripe, you just touch it and it stays on your hand. We need to bring it to a section where we put it on a table for it to, if it has extra water, for it to drain. And when it's completely dry, then we start the packaging on the small containers, and then it goes to town on a rough road. So it's a long drive to town. We put it on a cooler there, and then we try to make them have them as fresh as possible on stores. We are trying to expand on the berries. We know we are very dependable from the importation of blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, so we are working on that. Hopefully in the couple years, Finca Acton will be able to supply the Belizean market with locally produced strawberries, blueberries, and we do mulberries already. So,
would you ever think about opening like a farm where people come here and pick their own berries? Is that something that you are open to do?
Yeah, actually we are doing it on Saturdays when we have a big production. Like, we've been doing it for 3 Saturdays in a row, but Saturdays we are opening for the public. They come and harvest their fresh fruits. They pay per pound, only $17 per pound.
Wow, that's an incredible deal actually. And of course your harvesters, they carry their own little buckets. Is that the bucket that you're going to weigh and have people take home with them?
No, you need to bring your own container.
It's bring your own container.
Yeah, forget that part. Yeah, we just weigh it and then you take your container.
What is your final dream that you would like to see achieved when it comes to Finca Acton?
Well, the final dream is I want to see Finca Acton products outside of Belize. I'm working on that actually, and for that we're waiting for things to align, because we have an overproduction for the country, and we are working along with other farmers to see if we can get that consolidate and we could start ship outside the country.
There you have it. Who says that winter berries can't be grown in a tropical climate like Belize? Thank you so much to Finca Acton for showing us that resilience really is as sweet as a raspberry.
Welcome back. We do have some delay in our guests showing up at this time. We know that we're waiting for the representatives to talk to us about St. Bight Day, but they have expressed having some delays being on the road and all. So we wish them safe traveling, but we do want to move things along, Paul, and perhaps revisit some of the conversations that we've been having earlier in the morning, talking about the coverage of conventions as we prepare for the upcoming municipal race set to take place in the early parts of 2027.
Yeah, certainly.
I think what took place on Sunday, a lot of people are saying is a good temperature check of what the People's United Party can anticipate as the outcome of the municipal election set to take place. And similarly so, we are also following other parts of the country. We know another convention also took place in Dangriga. We had Crystalline Castillo on the couch with us last week talking about her bid to be the mayoral aspirant for UDP. And she was not successful in that convention.
Was not.
However, I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's a good tone to see how the people, how voters are feeling about different sides, you know, the United Democratic Party as well as the People's United Party.
I think because we spent some time on the PUP's Corozal convention earlier this morning, we could look briefly at the convention that took place in Dangriga and Benke for the United Democratic Party. I have to note from the onset that the turnouts were very low for both the Dangriga and the Benke conventions, and some are for the UDP, that is, right? And in Dangriga, the winner was Mr. Let me just get that, Dwayne Sampson. So he went up against Miss Castillo, and so Dwayne Sampson and his slate won in Dangriga, went up against Crystalline Castillo, and in Benke, the younger brother of the UDP representative, Mr. Guerra, won. So
Yusuf Guerra
won in Benke.
Yeah.
However, the turnout overall for both of them
was pretty low.
In fact,
and it was not necessarily a UDP delegate convention as well. If my memory serves me correct, when Crystalline came on the couch, they spoke about it just being open to anyone, really.
Yeah, just like the case in it's like the case in Corozal, right? So because what you do is you use the convention to do two things. One, to elect a candidate in a municipal slate, but also you use the convention in a sense to gauge where you are with the people, what kind of support do you have on the ground, and that informs the work that you have to do moving into the actual municipal election. So like for Rigo Veos in Corozal Town, where the voters list or registered voters in the municipality is somewhere around 7,000 thereabout, with 3,425 PUP supporters showing out for the convention overall, you could almost predict a win for the People's United Party candidate unless the divide is so strong or so sharp between Rogers and Veos that
they jump ship and go over.
Jump ship and go over. But
it's kind of unlikely, I think.
It's kind of unlikely, right? So we talk a lot about the divide that was caused for the convention, but it's not new. Conventions aren't new, and parties know how to work their way back and to kind of unite those who have divided. So that was a good gauge for the PUP in Corozal. Now, whether or not it's a good sign for the UDP in Dangriga, it doesn't look like it, right?
Yeah.
The two municipalities combined turnout doesn't even equate to half of what we saw in Corozal, right?
Yeah.
It just comparing numbers, not comparing demographic and the size, but just comparing numbers. And so we have Samson in Dangriga, you have Mr. Guerra in Benke, and it is to be seen, well, I don't think it's to be seen. Now we know that the UDP has a lot of work to do in Dangriga and a lot of work to do in Benke, because in Dangriga they'll go up against Mayor, in Dangriga they'll go up against
the incumbent.
The incumbent, I believe. I don't know if there's going to be a convention down there. I have to confirm that. And then in Benke, right now it's Mr. Rosales, but I believe there's going to be a convention for the PUP up that side. And so what a lot of people are anticipating is the convention in Belize City, right? And we don't know, we haven't confirmed if the United Democratic Party will have a convention in Belize City. I've heard complaints I've received information that the UDP in Belize City is being very selective and very particular about who they want to run on their slate here in Belize City. In fact, I know for a fact that there are individuals that have expressed interest in running for the United Democratic Party here in Belize City, and they've been asked to step aside, not to...
As counselor? For counselor level?
Right, to step aside, and multiple individuals, not to necessarily participate in a convention and allow a democratic process to unfold, but rather to say that, you know what, we think this candidate or this individual will be best fit. And you could understand the strategy in a sense in that you're going up against a ruling government, you're going up against a ruling party, and so you have to have your ducks in a row and you have to have the best candidates. But at the same time, I know that there are UDP members that are dissatisfied simply because they feel as if they have a right to participate in elections, and they're exercising that right through the UDP, and they believe as a result that they should be given the opportunity. Otherwise, they could have done it independently, etc., and be afforded that opportunity, right? And so I know there's some concerns in there, so I'm not sure if there's going to be a convention for the UDP, but for the People's United Party, there's certainly going to be a convention. I think there's like 20 names on that list, and you need 10 councillors and 1 mayoral candidate, and that is shaping up to be an exciting one here in Belize
And we know
City.
definitely people have their eyes on the convention, specifically as it relates to mayoral aspirant or candidate Alan Pollard and Eliud Miller, who've been creating all the buzz since the start of convention talk, that aside from what was taking place in Corozal. Some persons have come out to show support as it relates to ministers. I think I heard from Minister Francis Fonseca putting his support out for Eliud Miller. In other cases, people are saying that there's been talks about Alan Pollard voting against the BTL SpeedNet acquisition and thinking that might give him some favor in the voters' eyes in persons going at the convention. So I think it's
also
going to be
reports that he's being backed by the Deputy Prime Minister,
Cordell
Hyde. At least Doc, his dad, Alan Pollard Sr., revealed that during nomination day, the day when he sent in his actual nomination application, and that has been the talks since then. So it's some powerhouses, ministerial or representative powerhouses in Belize City that are now sort of battling it out at that level, and then resources will play a big role as well, right? So we'll be looking for those those trap bags throughout Belize City.
Interestingly, for Belize City, it's not going to be the same as the other conventions that we saw where the general voters come out to vote. It's a delegate convention. So I'm wondering how that will work for the municipalities, the constituencies like where I believe it was Henry Usher,
Henry Charles
Usher and
Mahler.
Port Loyola.
No, and Mahler.
Yes,
where there wasn't any election.
There's been a designated.
They've been given figures. They've been given a designated amount based on an average from the last election. Based on my understanding, right? The results of the last election, they've been given certain delegates, and so yes. But it's going to be a delegates convention. I think it makes the work of these candidates easier because now their campaign is concentrated and is focused on convincing a specific group of people and specific individuals versus have to convince the entire city, right? And so we'll wait to see that one. But we said earlier that there were some delays. Our first guests have arrived.
Yes.
And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we take you down to Same Bight.
Every business starts with a vision. And every day, Belizean entrepreneurs are turning that vision into reality.
Hi, I'm Rosalie, General Manager of Cards and Merchant Services at the Belize Bank. Today, I am proud to introduce our new solution designed specifically for Belize's small and medium-sized businesses.
Introducing the Belize Bank Advantage MasterCard SME Business Credit Card. Whether you're managing everyday expenses, purchasing inventory, or investing in growth, this card gives your business the flexibility to move forward with confidence. Applying is easy. Visit any Belize Bank branch and speak with one of our SME officers. We'll help you find a solution that best fits your business. Your business is building Belize's future. Let Belize Bank help power what's next.
Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Every dream begins with an opportunity, and every opportunity has the power to change a life. This year, Belize Bank proudly welcomes 16 outstanding new scholars during its 14th annual Scholarship Award ceremony, recognizing young Belizeans whose academic excellence, leadership, and determination inspire us all.
When I look around the room today, I see future entrepreneurs who will build businesses. I see future doctors who will heal families. I see engineers who will design infrastructure, teachers which will inspire the next generation.
For Belize Bank, a scholarship is more than financial assistance. It's a commitment to each student's future through guidance, encouragement, and mentorship from members of our management team. Today, we celebrate 16 new scholars, more than 250 lives transformed, one shared future. Because when we empower our youth, we empower our nation.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are joined this morning by individuals that drove all the way from St. Bight this morning, and they're in with us, and we commend them for taking that long drive and for being here. They said weather was not on their side, and then it's a long trip, really. We have joining us Chairman of the village, Mr. Jose Aleman. And his vice chairman is here as well, Kerwin Ramirez, and their secretary, Ms. Waniki Ogales, and then of course the historian of the community, Mr. Leonard Williams.
Good
Ladies
morning.
and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's a pleasure having all of you on set this morning. And we have this conversation annually. Every time St. Bight Day come around, we ensure on the compass set can remind me, can tell we about it. So, Mr. Aleman, let's begin with you. Tell us a bit about what this year's St. Bight Day will look like.
Well, Brother Paul, as per usual, St. Bight Day is an all-packed event starting this Friday. I believe that's the 14th of August, leading to the 16th, which will be the Sunday. And of course, what we're trying to do, or what we continue to do in our community, is that on the Friday, which is the opening ceremony, we try to market our culture and heritage so that not only ourselves, but also our visitors are pretty much aware of what St. Bight has to offer in terms of our Garifuna heritage. That includes our food, our dance, our spirituality, our medicines, our arts, and for us to share with the visitors and the guests that will be there. When we culminate that opening ceremony, of course, we start the events party, which we will be having live local drumming, joined by Nuro and his Garifuna Heartbeats. That gives us up to about 3 a.m. in the morning, and it's all night jamming. By Saturday morning, we are up at about 11. We start the day party with different activities, competitions throughout the day. We have live bands playing like the Sweet Pain Band. We'll be also be having the Bossa B Band, and I'm sure everybody knows about Bossa B. Nice. We have local artists inclusive of Super G, Reckless, Lloyd, Taprit, Kerwin himself, who will be out there. We have Haiti Arzu, right? We have a whole heap of artists and DJs, YG Songs, DJ Dickies, DJ Sambo from out of the city. Wow. And of course, the vibe in St. Bight is to ensure that every visitor that is there gets the opportunity to say, well, you know what? I'm going to be back next year.
Yeah. You all pull out all the big shots for this one.
Definitely. St. Bight does not leave out their big artists any at all, because we ensure that because this event is only one time per year, we want to give the people something to feel good about.
Yeah,
right?
The event, I gather also that this event is not only about the entertainment, it's also about exposing people to St. Bight Village, the culture, the people, and even the history.
Yes.
And I know when I say the word history, somebody's ears perk up on set, right? Because we have a historian on set with us, and Mr. Williams have been doing a good job throughout the years reminding people of why this is an important community, not only to the peninsula and not only to the south, but to the entire country. How has that journey of education and informing people been going for you, Mr. Williams? And do you think people are learning and understanding more about the village?
Definitely. And morning to our viewers. The journey in informing and educating is key to me.
Yeah.
And that journey has been going well. As a matter of fact, I have like teachers who come to interview me in regards to the history of St. Bight, and especially there was one specific teacher who came in to spoke to me about the experience of Hurricane Iris in St. Bight. I was then the chairperson, and so, relating from and kind of narrating to her from evacuation to the aftermath. It was kind of emotional, but yet was good. And that is just one instance. I still have a couple students that come in now and then to get information, from the two high schools nearby. That is Independence High School and Georgetown Technical.
Yeah.
So I'm always readily informed, and my good chairman can always say if he needs any archival document in regards to the history of the community, I am always willing and ready to
So what is one important historical fact that about St. Bight that you would want to leave Belizeans with this morning?
One important.
Yeah, I know they got a lot, but if you could choose one this morning that you'd want to leave Belizeans with about St. Bight, what would that be?
Boy, very key, very key. The first airstrip that was built on the peninsula was built by men and women of St. Bight. That airstrip was owned by Dr. James McClary, who was then the owner of Holden Memorial Hospital that was converted to Chateau Caribbean. All right, you can relate to that? Yes, that first airstrip under the chairmanship of Mr. Persinil asked government to took over that airstrip and renamed it. But that was Dr. James McClary's airstrip, and I was a child when he first landed on a fateful Friday morning, Friday evening, after doing surgeries at Holden Memorial. So, and I was there because my father was caretaker. So that's a historical fact.
That airstrip doesn't exist anymore.
It is. That is what they call the Placenza airstrip.
So that's where I want to take the conversation next, because
okay.
I often find that people, it's kind of like if you know about the magic and the culture of St. Bight, because they oftentimes go straight to Placencia. They want that tourism feel, and there's something so unique about St. Bight that people sometimes overlook. How do you go about ensuring that this little community, this fishing community that has so much history, that's rich in so much history, does not get overlooked beyond having St. Bight Day?
Great. And this is very key. This is a very, very key point here. The thing is that, okay, we were talking about that on our way. I told these guys, tourism actually started in that area by backpackers, who we used to call hippie because of lack of knowledge, right? We later learned that hippie is a movement. But backpackers meander along that coast. What happened to Placencia village was that parents and, household used to cook and house these backpackers. In opposition, even though our grandparents were very welcoming to strangers, we didn't do that. And so gave room to the beginning of the tourism industry.
So that's what took place in Placencia.
Right. And so many, many years ago, this is what happened actually, was that our very best and brightest were taken away from our community, and in those days you would find children and grandparents living in the community. All the people with the intellect and smart people were taken by the mission to teach throughout the country. And so you wouldn't find young boys or young men and young women in St. Bight. You would find children and grandparents. And so kind of keep back the development of the community. But back to what you were asking, they would, after the road was built, people would pass and go to Placencia. The other thing that caused that was the media and the Belize tourism. Everything within the jurisdiction of St. Bight, Nautical Inn, Serenian Bay, all these huge resorts, the old Roberts Grove, which is today Blue Reef, are registered under Placencia.
Well, it's a marketing strategy.
It is a marketing strategy. Because however, it does do do wrong to us.
I understand, because it's in a similar way when you hear tourists coming into Belize and they land at the international airport. If you ask a lot of tourists, they believe that they landed in Belize City. but they actually landed in Ladyville. But they're not so familiar with Ladyville as much as they are familiar with Belize City, because the impression that the receiver that they have is that the international airport is in Belize City, but it's in Ladyville. But it's not as good as a marketing strategy as connecting the word Belize City.
Definitely, and that is where when Mr. Williams mentioned that the media and tourism has a lot to do with it. One thing that will change that is the narrative.
Right.
The narrative needs to change, and what will contribute to the narrative that will contribute to it to change will definitely be the process that is now happening with respect to the demarcation, which I will not indulge much in, but when that process is done, it gives more of the community their point of start and end, and that in itself will assist in changing that narrative, because then business holders will now understand that, hey, I am in the community of St. Bight, I am in the community of Placentia, I am on the Placentia.
And then they'll associate their businesses with the community. All right, so we've gotten a great deal of history for this segment. I want to get these two fine individuals in the middle in the conversation. One of the things I note, Vice Chair, is that St. Bight stands out as unique along the peninsula, because you drive for miles and you see a lot of resorts, and then bam, you come across just like this community that's always buzzing, right? And you see people and you see community, like just out of nowhere.
But it feels different.
Yeah,
it
but
feels like you almost crossed a margin and you ended up somewhere.
And then bam, you leave it and then you go right back into touristy. But you guys stand out along the peninsula. What is it about the people of St. Bight that makes the community what it is, so much so that events like St. Bight, they are a success?
Well, basically, the people are people that love people, right? If you go to St. Bight, oftentimes many people go to St. Bight, it's hard for them to leave, right? The ambience,
they drink the water.
Yeah, so basically it's the ocean, the people, the love. Like if you came to St. Bight and you're somebody that you want to connect it, somebody gonna connect it with you. You can knock on any door and ask for food. You can knock on any door and ask for water,
and you'll get it.
And you'll get it. So basically, what makes St. Bight stand out is they say love is a universal answer, but what we had is bigger than love, right? We care for people, we love people. And then the kids, in the evening, you're not going to see a lot of these kids on tablet. Everybody go play sports.
They're all connected with each other.
Yeah, they're all connected with each other. Like I had a group of kids I work with all the kids, but they had this set of group of kids in the community. They walk by 12. And when you see them, it's like 12 of them. But the love they have for each other. If one fall, they help correct it. That person so they can able to be a better person, right?
That's good. So that speaks about community. I know Ms. Orgales wants to weigh in on this because she's excited to talk about her people.
A little bit to what Karen was saying. We are very passionate people. We love our culture, so we try to showcase it in everything that we do. You couldn't come to St. Bight right now and say, okay, let's go get some hurut. So we are Garifuna community, so we try to involve everything around Garifuna. We are here to showcase our community, and St. Bight does have a lot to offer. You don't want to, when you go to St. Bight, you don't want to come out, you know. So
one of the things that I really appreciate about having you all on set is speaking to you, Ms. Orgales and Kerwin, is that you guys represent the next generation of leadership as well, that I think is so important. Having Mr. Williams on set with us, speaking about history and connecting that to the next generation so that other generations know about the history of St. Bight, and so that message could be spread. Why was it important for you guys to be a part of this leadership movement? And really, I'd want to know, do you see the impact of St. Bight Day in spreading that importance with the generation coming behind you guys as well?
Well, for me, I say it just like this. My brother right here, his dream was to be the chairman. he came to me and said, I will run up. I said, if you run up, nothing political.
Yeah.
We're going to run up independence, then I will run up. This is my brother. We grew up from since we were a kid. So we used to stand on the sideline and see all these decision making and all this type of stuff. And the thing that we passionate about was our demarcation, who we are as a community. So as we step into that leadership in the community, these were things that we work on. But what for me, what is more important, the changes that I see in the community, we see the community more clean, we see more development, because we are passionate about everything we do in our community. So our community will be stand out. Everything that we do is from our heart. So
and for you, Ms. Ogales, what made you decide to join leadership?
Well, my father was the chairperson. My uncle, the now chairperson. I have previous uncles that were chairperson, so it naturally came. Yeah, it naturally came to me, and I wanted to be a spokesperson for younger adults, because if we're talking the truth, a lot of old heads, and I know my colleagues. I can speak on their behalf, so
you know what they want.
Yes, exactly. And Bight Day, when you speak about Bight Day and how it impacts the community, I'm focused specifically on the Friday. That's the cultural part. We try to promote the culture as best as possible, because we're a Garifuna community and we want people to come in and see that, okay, we have a lot to offer here, so come on in.
Yeah, so remind us one more time, Ms. Alleman, and then tell us where we could get more information. Remind us one more time of the dates and the events scheduled.
Well, of course, the dates again is August 14th, 15th, 16th, and while we're on the Saturday, we must talk about the after party, which will take place at 10 p.m. at Saturday on the old school grounds. Punta Rebels frontliners, Super G, Reckless, Lloyd, backed up by the Sweet Pain Pan, Bossa B, and we're going to the Sunday, which is a bigger day.
Church, yeah.
Well, yeah. After we receive our blessings,
yes,
we go out there and we enjoy ourselves. Family affair. All right. Enough security will be out there. The police will be out there ensuring everybody is safe. Bight Day has a record of proving that 3 days event, no major problem. So it's very community oriented.
All right, and where can they go to find more information? Do you have a
more
page?
information? Yes, we have the Bight Village Council page, and of course everybody is buzzing that page right now, using your word, in terms of sharing and stuff. And given the opportunity, we'll just like to thank our sponsors. We appreciate them for assisting us, and that's BTB, Niche, Villas at Coco de Playas. We have MCRIT, that's the ministry.
Ewart.
Yeah, we have Ewart Marine. We have Itzana Resort. We have Balam Golf. Oh man, it's so many of them. It would take some time, right? But we just want to ensure that on this platform we get the opportunity to thank them. Yes. I'm sure they were viewed on the flyer as you guys had that shared out. Yes. So we're just giving them that appreciation.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us, for taking the long drive, and we truly appreciate you all being on set with us this morning. We have to wrap up this conversation, take a quick break, and when we come back, it's all about Carnival, King and Queen. We have that discussion coming up, and we also have some steel pan in, so we're going to hear some steel pan music as well. Okay, that's it.
Any other summer day in Belize, I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
KTV The Remix Season 8 is bringing the heat every Tuesday night. Experience Belize's biggest singing competition live from the Bliss as your favorite contestants battle it out on stage with unforgettable performances. The show starts at 8 p.m. sharp, so don't be late. Get your tickets today at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center and come be a part of the excitement. KTV The Remix Season 8, where Belize's next superstar takes the stage. See you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on GBM.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&D Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Before our grid reached across Belize, it was built by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew with Belize. A nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole. Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows. Each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited, built to serve, serving Belize.
When I install an AC system, I recommend Rheem from Bennett's. Unlike inferior units that drive up electricity costs, restrict yard flow, and wear out quickly, Rheem has the right solution for every space. With a wide range of options, I can choose the right Rheem system to keep every customer cool, comfortable, and satisfied. Because at Bennett's, quality is saving.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and saving.
KTV The Remix Season 8 is bringing the heat every Tuesday night. Experience Belize's biggest singing competition live from the Bliss as your favorite contestants battle it out on stage with unforgettable performances. The show starts at 8 p.m. sharp, so don't be late. Get your tickets today at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center and come be a part of the excitement. KTV The Remix Season 8, where Belize's next superstar takes the stage. See you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on GBM.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Beautiful performance.
Yes, you know that song there?
I do.
Give me a little lyrics.
Dance to the rhythm of Brockdom. I think I did that at Festival of Arts.
That all you know, Cho?
Yeah, I know for Brockdom,
no. But you don't know the song like
I
that.
do know the song.
All right.
All right. Well, we have to argue, man. Anyways, that was just a little bit of a performance from the Panorifics Steel Band. As we mentioned earlier in the show, it's also Steel Pan Day. So we decided to treat you guys to some steel pan music. But our next conversation is still related to a bit of culture and celebration. You might hear some steel band and carnival festivities as well. So we want to jump into the annual King and Queen competition set to take place. You guys also know that we are counting down for the Carnival Road March. And so this morning we have joining us some members, some band leaders as well. We have here with us Eugene Trench. He is the Marketing and Public Relations representative of the Belize Carnival Association. Also here with us is Patricia Flowers. She is the band leader for Trench Town. Also with us, Samantha Sabaranis, band leader for the Call It Royal Junior Band. And Pauline Bradley, band leader for the Soca Massive Junior Band. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you all, and
I
good
feel
morning.
like if we did talk Carnival, I'm supposed to get more energy. But here's the thing, right? I won't judge you guys because I imagine you know they have long days and long nights right now preparing for Carnival season and of course this upcoming event, King and Queen competition. Before we get into that, let's get a temperature check. How are you guys feeling right now? We're getting closer and closer to September and I imagine, you know, it's a lot.
Exhausted.
Yeah?
Tired, everything, you know what, because the nights you're asleep, then you have to get up early next day and start again. It's like no rest for the wicked.
Oh no, we're not call ourselves wicked.
I mean, it's just a phrase,
yeah,
you know,
I know.
Yeah, it's really no rest right now. Right now
Yes.
it's from early morning, late nights. Get up again early morning, late nights.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Preparing for King and Queen.
Okay, what does preparations look like, right? Because we now assume everybody know what to do, right? And they say, well, the late night and early morning.
Let the party.
Right?
Part of the fun.
Tell us a bit more about what preparation looks like.
I think I can speak for most
Yeah, of
band
course.
leaders, as in preparation is tough. I mean, we know we have a competition on Saturday, so most of us are up after 1, after 2, some of us 3 in the morning, maybe 4. we close our eyes and we're back up by maybe 7, 8, jamming. That's for those of us who are probably at home. So for the band leaders who are actually workers, it's a little bit harder for them because they're at work from 8 to 5, some 8 to 6. So they have a shorter time span to put in the work that they will actually want to put in, right? So it's really harder for them.
What are you spending that time doing? Building?
No.
Designing costumes?
Designing, because we have our builders. So our builders assist us. Some of us makes our costume ourselves, like Miss Pauline. She's very crafted, right? So she makes most of her costumes, but the time consuming is actually dressing that costume. Like our body pieces and head pieces, those might take us less time, but in terms of king and queen, the hours and details, you pay attention to details. You might start one way, you step back, you look for your costume, you realize, oh, that not fit there. I don't like that. You go back, you rip off, and you start over again. So the process is time consuming. It's tiring, and especially if you don't have a lot of workers or hands to help you out, it takes a lot from you.
Can you all at Trenchtown relate to what she's saying?
Oh, very much, especially when she comes to the part that if you don't have a lot of hands, you know. But if you love Carnival, you get in the jam and you do what you have to do.
Yeah, and I think that's such a big part of this conversation.
Love.
Oftentimes when we talk about Carnival, we speak to these representatives, whether it be band leaders or revelers or just people a part of the association. It's a job that you know, you don't really get paid for it. You know, you're just doing it because you have a passion for it. A lot of the members, they grew up in Carnival and now they're leading as well, and so it's something that they would describe it almost being in their blood. But what you guys are preparing for is a critical part of the actual competition as well, because beside the spectacle that the viewers or people on the sides will see, the King and Queen competition is really a part of the competition itself, the carnival itself. So you guys want in each of your bands to have your king or queen be the one that wins, because that adds to the points overall as well. Yes. So I want to get Mr. Eugene in the conversation to talk about that, the role that the King and Queen competition plays in the actual road march itself.
Okay, the King and Queen competition is judged at the King and Queen. That has its own points. But to be on the road march now, the King and Queen must be presented out there to be part of the team. Because each of them has a team for their bands.
It's a story you're telling.
Yes, a story you're telling. But the main part of it is that the costume must be out there, but the player who played it at the Civic, when they have the competition, he may or may not has to be in a costume out there. They can have another reveler in the costume out there, but the costume has to be out there as part of it.
Any sort of adjustments made to the rules for this year based on last year? I don't know.
Yes. I think what we did is that because we figured that with our costume is that the viewers and people want to see a grand, beautiful costume. They're not interested if it stand up by itself or if you have this. But we made adjustment and we put on the wheels. We said the wheels can't be more than 8 inches in diameter. First, the costume used to have these little, what we call cart wheels or chair wheels. Small wheels, but the size and what the bands are producing now, we said, you know something? Let's do it bigger so it has support. And one of the main things with the costume this year is that it used to be judged, if it can't stand up by itself, it's good, but if it needs support, then it's good. So what we do is that it can just be a big costume and it can stand up by itself without support. So that's one of the changes we put in, because like I said, the public wants to see the costume. They don't want to go those little technical details.
I find it interesting that wheels are a part of, the wheels dimension are part of the
judging,
rules, right? Because I mean, I would have feel like if I want to put a bicycle wheel palm, I think I should be allowed to. Well, I understand they have standards, right?
Well, with that, Paul, you make a very important point. It depends on what team you're portraying. Because you want to put a bicycle wheel and you're portraying something else, and people say, "But what's that big wheel doing?" You know, so things like that.
So, can you ladies give us a sneak peek at this time
Reveal?
as to what the stories or themes are that you're telling.
Preview.
Not give me everything, but yeah, if you could say something.
Teaser.
Yeah, this year, I don't mind because at this point it's like
everybody
what
do
could Steve do. This year my team is Guardian of the Elements, and I think that's straightforward. If we say elements, you know what basically what that is. Wind, water, earth, fire.
Right.
And so my king is the fire dragon, and then my queen is the water octopus.
All right, let me go down the line now.
Miss Sam.
I want to beat that. I was clear.
I know.
The carnival drama. I know. That's not a problem, you know.
Correct.
We really trying to work together.
It has been different this year, a whole total level. For this year's carnival with March, Colette is doing honoring our unsung heroes.
Lovely.
The twist to it is that when people hear unsung heroes, most time people will think individuals who have contributed to Belize and have passed. But the twist to it is that I am honoring those jobs that,
like frontline workers.
yeah, those jobs that makes our economy, drives our economy every day. Without these workers, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I have 4 sections, and I am doing painter. We are all sitting here. If we never have a seamstress, we wouldn't have clothes on our bodies. So I am doing a seamstress section, because I mean, the job of a seamstress is hard. We have school uniforms, we have to go to work, clothes at home. Without a seamstress, we won't have,
And
you know,
the
attire to
help
wear.
with the kids' costumes.
Yes, on a whole. And then I have a section that is catered to our farmers / market vendor. I mean, if the farmers doesn't reap and the market vendor is not out there to provide food for us, how will we survive?
I'm interested to see how you make that into costume, because you know the ladies will want to look, you know, like sexy, and how you want to make a farmer or a vendor, a food stall vendor. I'm looking out for this one for sure.
And then, apple?
Yeah, I've seen an apple.
Beautiful.
And then I have my last section. Man, I have to give credit to the last section because our sanitation workers work tirelessly.
I'm so looking forward to this.
When Carnival ends and everybody goes home and the streets are left completely dirty, these people are there. I think as Carnival finish 7, 8, then they work. I mean, not only Carnival Day, but throughout the year, you want to see sanitation workers. People complain and, oh, the front of me yard not chop, but the work is a lot, and so I have to give credit to our sanitation department, and so my last section is dedicated to the sanitation department.
I don't have enough imagination, clearly.
And we say sneak peek, you're giving one.
Okay. So wait, no, pause, because we're talking king and queen. So will your king and queen highlight some elements of that?
My queen is my seamstress section. I mean, I can't discredit the seamstress because we have all the costumes for the road march, and the seamstress sew bottom piece, top piece. I mean, they're there. And then my king is my sanitation worker.
I'm so looking forward to it. All right, let's get to it.
All right, I'm a little different.
Yes, I'm sure.
I like energy, vibes, whatever. So my team this year is staying put on the road, bringing Bacchanal to life. You know, so I have the calm that starts off our season, and then I move forward with the blue waves. They're like, all right, we didn't know, you know.
So you're building up,
right? And from there, I pick up the nature, grab the energy, and keep on the night pulse.
Yeah.
Because most of our time is night.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yes. And I move to celebration. We reach the end.
Yes.
So I'm basically just running the entire season.
One of the things I realized, Dosab, is that there's a great deal of creativity,
Yeah.
right, involved in this process. And you ladies are so creative. Like your creative level and intelligence is on another level. And I think that has to do with how involved you have been in the process throughout the years, to the point that it almost comes natural, right? The way you've presented your themes and the ideas surrounding your teams and the different sections and stuff like that. I think it's amazing. So the event takes place this weekend?
Saturday the 15th at the Civic
Tell us
Center.
more.
Pre-judging starts at 5. That's when the judges go around and inspect the costumes and ask the questions to the person portraying the costume about the theme, the storyline and everything. Then the show time starts at 7 when the actual competition begins, when they display it on the stage. Well, they gross the court at the Civic.
Yes.
You know, and we're going to have entertainment by Kenny G and the New Creation Band.
Nice.
So it's going to be a fun night for everybody. So the whole family can come out and enjoy.
All right. And how can people purchase tickets?
It's available, I believe, at the Bliss. You can go at the box office and ask Miss Gillian. She should have them for sale, and they're going to be on sale. The band leaders, I think, have some tickets they're going to sell. And from the morning at the Civic, we're going to be selling tickets.
What's the price?
$10 and adults and $5 for children.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of them, and there's nothing like it. Honestly, the excitement, the energy, the vibes inside, even the live performance is excellent.
And like I said, Paul, you must give kudos to these bands, because what Samantha told me just now, you know, like I'm like, I didn't know.
I just corrected myself.
Serena, you know?
I just corrected myself though, because Samantha, you're the band leader for a junior band.
Yes.
So I think it's going to be so adorable now. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. At first, I was trying to figure out how you're going to make that, you know, look different for adults, but I really am excited to see the creativity on stage. You know, all of these children. I know there's going to be the adult section as well for the King and Queen.
Yes,
too.
like what I said, this is only 3 bands. Imagine what the others have.
Yes.
So we encourage people to come out to see the creativity and what these bands leaders, what they go through and what's to offer. And when I want to ask the public if these bands come around, they still need help.
Right.
So if any business, any person out there wants to help them, please contact them. So that you can, you know, see a good show out there.
So what we're going to do is we're going to end this conversation, and I'm sure we'll be back with you all when it's time to talk about Road March.
Yes.
That's coming up pretty quickly, and so we'll be back to talk about that.
Before the Road March up, all, then they're going to be after the King and Queen. They're going to be the mass camp visits.
Right, the mass camp visits, which we are always participating as
then
well.
they're going to have the Road March.
All right, but we'll be back to talk about that.
No
we have
problem.
to invite you all back to
No
talk
problem.
about that. So we have Panorifics on set with us.
Yes.
And so at this time, we're going to move over to them. Let's have them play some music while we move over.
Let's get some music in, and then we can transition over there and talk about what they're up to.
All right. Let me grab this for you. All right.
All righty. Thank you very much, guys. That was an amazing performance. We really got a treat. We got 2 performances. And as we mentioned at the start of the show, this is in celebration and recognition of Steel Pan Day. I know in Belize, there's a healthy population of people who appreciate the music and the instrument, really. But Miss Julieta, you are one of the leaders and founders of Panorifics here in Belize, and we're so grateful for the time that you've taken. Tell us a bit about how your band has evolved since starting and bringing Steel Pan here.
Okay, so we started out 21 years ago with a very small group of instruments and band. And since then, we've developed into one of the leading bands, I believe, in the country. We have tripled in numbers. And we play from everything from in carnivals, which we haven't done in a while, but for birthdays, for different celebrations, for government official ceremonies, you name it, we play for that.
Are you all hosting any events for this year's September celebration? I know it's a part of your trademark.
Yes, definitely. Our annual Panyard is coming up. We look forward to that. We prepare all year for our Panyard concert, which will be this year on August 22nd in Belmopan at the Hilltop Court. We've invited 2 other bands to join us this year, the UB Steel and Pandemonium Steel Band from Belize City. So there'll be 3 bands total performing at our Panyard in Belmopan.
Now, for people who might be intrigued and they want to join Panorifics, how does that process work?
All right, well, we have our annual summer camp that's open to the public, and normally from there we would scout players for our junior band. And then we just have people randomly would approach us and say they would want to come and play. And so the band that we would normally push like more adults into is our Miss and Catch band.
I think I could Miss and Catch.
Yeah, I could definitely be a part of that.
It's a very forgiving band. Yeah, and then generally the junior members would, move up eventually to the senior band.
Okay, so I want to put these guys to the test. We are interested in joining the Miss and Catch band, right? So we want learn maybe 1 or 2 notes. Something could teach me and Sabrina something right now. I don't know.
Of course.
We got that entry level, below entry level.
I got to know.
All right. So what are your name?
My name is Edlin Lorenzo.
Edlin Lorenzo.
My name is Leo Jean Pot.
How long did you do this?
I've been in Panorifics for almost 12 years now. I started when I was 9. I'm turning 22 this year.
Wow. So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
So you're very versed with this series. What do you love the most about it?
Everything. I mean, the instrument itself, the community that it brings people together. I met some people I call family now, although we're not blood related. They are my family, and it's just a good thing overall.
After so much years, your girlfriend ever tell you spend more time with that than she?
We can't talk about that.
Alright. And for you, my brother, how long have you been playing the steel pan?
I've been playing for almost 10 years now. I joined after I saw my brother try it in summer camp, and he didn't really like it, but I really wanted to do it. So I got in touch with Miss Julie after I was learning violin already with her, and from then, I tried to stick with the band as much as possible.
Excellent. So now I show you 2 notes. When you could teach you ping pong 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 something.
Paul, I volunteer you for the double pan.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay. I think you are volunteer me for everything.
No. You take the one with the 2
All
of
right.
them.
All right. So first things first. You have to know what pan you are playing.
Yes, I'm playing the steel pan.
Oh, of course you're playing the steel pan. So
else.
This is what you call a lead pan. This is a tenor pan.
Oh, you're the lead?
Yes, this is a tenor pan.
Okay.
Whereby you play mostly the melody of the song.
Okay, I got it.
And then this is the double second pan. I might be biased, but this is the best pan overall.
Okay.
Although it has more, it's not as difficult.
Okay. Shucks, and I'm gonna give Paul. Okay.
Just to say. So
no, we're not as advanced, so you have to give it something simple.
All right. So first things first, right? So holding the sticks. All right. I see you have good formation in holding the sticks.
Yeah, we familiar.
All right. So
it's holding sticks.
For you, I want you to roll these 2 notes. When you roll, you use
you use your wrist. These two notes. This one and this one. So you're gonna put this hand over here, and then this one, yeah. At the same time. So, understand? See how beautiful that is?
That's so good already.
Exactly.
Okay, but where she did though? So
Alright,
explain to me
you're
what she
playing
did
the
though.
same thing. So basically, you're playing the C major chord. So you're rolling C and E, and for you, I want you to roll
and C.
C and G. These two notes. So play it together.
One, wait, Sab, you can't go ahead.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Understand? All right, so basically, all right, good job.
Whoa.
Sound good.
All right, so we have a fun then.
Basically, what you just did was harmonize with the C chord. The C chord is C, E, and G. You played the first and the third chord, which is C and E.
Okay.
And you played the first and the fifth, which is C and G. So basically, we use these, call them chord progressions, and that's how we basically write music. So you go from one chord to the next. So now we're going. I'll give one a rhythm, right?
Okay.
So
make we see how fast we could do
I'll
this.
give you two different rhythms. You will play one, you will play the next one, but you have to play it at the same time.
Got it.
And that's basically how it is in a band. Everyone has to be coordinated.
And you have to separate all of that?
Yes. Although we're playing at the same time, you have to be coordinated.
Okay, so let's be quick.
So you're gonna use the same chord, right? So I want you to play ram patam. Go ahead. Together.
Okay.
Pam patam patam. All right. Now well, the way we read music, we use like rhythm words. So you're gonna be playing apple. So you're gonna apple. So now so you're gonna while you're playing apple, you're gonna play ram patam. At the count of 3.
Don't confuse me up over here.
I'm not even saying a word, Paul. You confuse yourself.
Right, so at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Good. Yeah, we will get there. Miss our catch, but we can make the band.
Miss our catch, that's the whole point. You miss one, you catch the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, y'all are excellent at what you do, and you're even better at teaching. So thank you so much, right? We aren't the best students, but you all are really good teachers.
Eventually, no practice makes perfect.
And this is really fun as well, but unfortunately we do have to wrap things up at this time. Thank you guys so much for teaching us. And also a huge thank you to all of our other guests who joined us this morning as well. It is August 11th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com.
You can also catch us live on Facebook every weekday morning at Open Your Eyes BZ, or Instagram for all behind the scenes content at OIE Belize. We even have TikTok. You can follow us on TikTok at openyoureyes.bz.
And if you want to reach us, you can also call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts wide open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday. Stay dry, stay safe, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.